parents and siblings of a young man who drank too much one night and shot himself. I write down how very much he loved to swim in the lake in front of their summer cabin. I understand why you think that what I do is depressing, but compared to front-page news, most obituaries are downright inspirational. People lead all kinds of interesting and fulfilling lives, but they all end. My task is investigating the deeds, characteristics, occupations, and commitments, all that he or she made of their one wild and precious life, as poet Mary Oliver has called it. He may have died mumbling and confused in a nursing home, but in his day he was a fine actor, dashing host, and bon vivant who you would have loved playing charades with. She was a terrific big sister, the daughter who always baked cookies for her dad and had planned on attending an art college before she was killed in a car wreck. No one wants the last hour of her life to eclipse the 17 years before it. This may not be how the obituary writers at national newspapers work, but I'm dealing with people I know, my neighbors in the small, close-knit community where my husband owns a lumberyard, where we've raised our family, where I've sat on the school board, volunteered for hospice, and am a regular at the morning muscles exercise class. These relationships alter the way I write. Before I compose an obituary, I ask myself, what truths will outlive the facts of this person's life? What needs to be in it, but also what doesn't? Tom Morford, my editor at the Chilkat Valley News, often disagrees with my choices and asks me to dig a little deeper into the more difficult times in a person's life. He warns me against habitually walking on the sunny side of the street. Still, I leaned close to the radio recently when I heard a story about a study that proved optimistic women live longer. I called Tom right up with the great news. "At least you believe you will," he replied. Tom and I were both pleased with the way the obituary of an old miner unfolded. His widow and daughter wanted to be sure that I included the bad with the good. Rather than detour around his sinkholes, they told me to note that he had been a hard-drinking, hard-living, and some would even say hard-hearted man who was transformed by a voice he heard in a blizzard while driving through a mountain pass telling him to change his ways. He did, becoming a sober, tender, nursery rhyme singer as soon as his first grandbaby gripped his finger. He taught all his grandchildren to sing along when he played the guitar. If grandchildren can help an old miner find the Lord on his rough road to Damascus, what am I going to discover thanks to mine? I think about children first when bad things happen. How can we reaffirm that there's so much to applaud, even if they see nothing worthy of an ovation? And then I know. Whenever there's a tragedy, from the horrific school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, to when a fisherman dies after slipping off the deck here in Haines, awful events are followed by dozens and dozens of good deeds. It's not that misery loves company exactly. Rather, it's that suffering, in all its forms, and our response to it, binds us together across dinner tables, neighborhoods, towns, and cities, and even time. Bad doings bring out the best in people. Lives were saved at the finish line of the Boston Marathon because bystanders ran toward the explosions to help rather than away from them. This is what Fred, Mr. Rogers' mother, wanted him to notice when he was frightened by scary news. Look for the helper, she told him. You will always find people helping. Mr. Rogers passed along that advice to millions of other children and their parents who were scared or angered by violence or tragedy, and it helped them too. Look for the EMTs wheeling the stretcher into the ambulance. Look for the guys grilling hot dogs for hurricane refugees. Look for the motorcycle club collecting canned goods for the food bank. Sly Stone sang it loud. We are family. Our hearts are every bit as malleable as stardust turned to gold. Loving one another polishes them. Where do stars come from? My oldest granddaughter, Caroline, asked one winter evening when her parents were out and I was tucking her into bed. I told her, and she wondered why we only see them when the sun goes down. Darkness makes light visible, I explained, echoing Emerson. I didn't say that I imagine stars represent the people who used to live with us and aren't here anymore, and how perfect it is that they